Hello, my fellow nerds, and welcome to the Nerd Empire. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you all will enjoy today's reaction video. With that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? We are going to react to a video from Rev Says Desu, and this one is called Twitter Freaks Cannot Stop Lying. Now I see the game Reloaded on here. I don't know anything about this game. I haven't heard anything about it, but let's see what's going on in the video, shall we?
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at a thread that's getting a lot of attention on Twitter. It is one that is attempting to blame the current issues in gaming on anti-woke grifter YouTubers who care about things like appealing character designs. Yes, we're hearing that buzzword again, grifter. It's
you know, I can never understand
another word that's
why there are so many people who have a problem with us wanting characters that actually look appealing. Hello, Issa. I mean, look at the recent games we've been having. At least the Western ones. The women they've put in there, and some of the guys, have been physically not appealing, like physically unattractive. They're trying to make them look like the everyday, less attractive people for some reason. And then you look at the games from like Korea, Japan, you know, all those other places, and you see them actually putting in female and male characters that actually look very, very attractive. I don't understand why the Western game developers have such a problem with wanting to put physically attractive people in games. Like, I don't get why they have a problem with doing that.
Lost all meaning, but I find it very ironic that this post was made yesterday, the same day Reloaded was officially released, and we talked about it in yesterday's video, but this has been an absolute disaster of a launch, and it represents what's really wrong with the gaming industry right now. You have this game that is unappealing in its sort of foundation. It's unappealing with its character designs, and on top of that, it's been used as a purity test by games journalists and activists on Twitter, basically saying if you don't find this game appealing, you're a bigot, whatever. And of course,
hang on, it says reclaim real African artifacts from Western museums in this African futurist heist game. Recruit crew members, plan escape routes, acquire the precious cargo, and bounce out of the joint as fast as you can. Huh. Okay. I mean, it sounds like a nice concept, but from what I'm understanding, they just didn't do anything right.
It focuses on the modern audience who, once again, did not show up. Now, here is the thread we're looking at. I'll read through it in just a second, but basically you can see the names here. They're blaming these supposed anti-woke YouTube grifters for causing irreparable damage to gaming discussion. And this is quoting a thread talking about character design.
I think a lot of the things that have done a lot of damage to the gaming industry is all of them trying to, you know, like become woke and be inclusive with everything. And I've said this many times, not everything needs inclusivity. And for some reason, they're trying to, at least here in the West, they're trying to do that with everything. Not everything needs to be inclusive. You don't need to include everything, include everybody. It just, no. Like the old saying goes, go woke, you go broke. And it seems like a lot of these games that have been coming out recently have been trying to go woke, but have just not been doing good at all.
That's kind of the main focus here. They're mad at these YouTubers for wanting more appealing designs and more fun games. Wow, I can't believe it. I always go back to this thread.
Okay, he didn't read it, but I want to see what it says. Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, Grums, and these anti-woke YouTube grifters have done irreparable damage to gaming discussions. We could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, and stuff that's actually about, games, but no, it's shit like this. What's up with the big monkey? Oh my god. What's up with that big monkey nose? There are millions of beautiful Latin girls. Tomb Raider is an example, a British accent, and that could also be Latin. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Lucia is a...
Believe it.
I don't know what that said, because Rev's hair is in the way. Without the hair, and is just following the ugly agenda. It's like there have been a few other games where they've gotten a lot of these games use real life people as the model for the in-game characters, but for some reason it doesn't match the real life model. It's like they've toned down like 5 levels of their looks in game. They've like uglified them. It's like why can't you match how the person looks in real life to how the person is going to look in the game? Why do you have to uglify it? Why do you have to make them less attractive in the game? Isn't that like insulting to the person who was the model for Zed character?
Wow, I can't believe it. I always go back to this thread whenever the discussion about
should lead video game characters be widely considered attractive, aspirational by the vast majority of players. I mean, if it's a character that I'm going to be consistently playing and looking at, I kind of would like something that's visually appealing. So, yeah, they should be considered at least somewhat attractive.
Character designs and whether or not they're attractive or aspirational, appealing, whatever word you want to use. Because back in 2025, the creator of Lords of the Fallen made this poll asking people what they think, and after 11,000 votes, 84% of people chose yes, saying they want appealing character designs. Now, if you take this even in the most extreme, where you combine the people saying no, all 2.5% of them, with the people who don't care, if you want to ignore having appealing designs, you're left with 15% of people, okay? And I think it's very obvious from the original poster of the thread we're reading today. They seem to really like the design of the main protagonist for Naughty Dog's upcoming release, Intergalactic, and this is a great example of the poll we just saw. Man, would you look at that? Having this as the face of your new game, and people really don't like it, they're not impressed, and then you see how it pans out in the trailer here in the reaction.
She's just meh. I mean, she's not ugly, but I wouldn't say she's conventionally attractive either. She's just meh.
With 100,000 likes versus 300,000 dislikes, which is actually a pretty close percentage to the poll we just saw. Go figure, am I right? But of course, who are the type of people making these threads? Well, bio checks out, and then you see their values, right? Yesterday, they also made another stunning and brave post saying that they're basically blocking.
You laughed when Charlie Kirk got shot. Yeah, and I don't feel bad. These people are disgusting.
Anyone who posts anything to do with AI on Twitter, like they're fuming about that. But then in literally...
I'd say, when it comes to AI, overall, I don't really have a problem with it. I mean, we as a society are going to have to, at some point, start getting used to it, because it is going to be part of our everyday lives, whether we want it to be or not. And currently, with how it is, I'd say it's more of a virtual intelligence than an artificial intelligence. So I'd say it's more of VI than AI with a lot of the things. But when it comes to art and stuff in that, like graphical design, art, and all that stuff, it's a very touchy subject when it includes AI. But we have to admit, when it comes to AI, in a lot of places, it is actually really helpful. It is something that is going to become the norm. It's just something we're not going to, get away from. But in the area of art and graphic design, that sort of thing, it's a touchy subject.
The previous tweets, they said in quotes, "You laughed when Charlie Kirk got assassinated," end quote. Yeah, and I don't feel bad for it. So this is the modern audience who is very angry at these supposed grifters, and they want all this empathy and all this stuff, and this is their values. It's very, well, not surprising at all. But let's go back to the thread. Let's read through it. Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, Grums, and these anti-woke YouTube grifters have done irreparable damage to gaming discussion. We could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, and stuff that's actually about, games, but no, it's stuff like this, referring to a debate about characters being appealing or not in their designs. And let's start off here, okay? The top.
Overall, we've never really had a problem with having good-looking characters in games. For the longest time, we haven't had a problem. Until the woke community started, getting into this shit. That's when people started having a problem. And this has only been a problem for, past 10 or so years that, maybe somewhere between 5 and 15 years. I think it's 10, but it's somewhere between there, that this is just became a problem. Before then, this has never been a problem. We've always had good looking characters, some of them quite unrealistic for both men and women. But I mean, I personally, along with the other, logical thinking and, people who live in reality, a lot of us don't really have a problem with having good looking characters. What we have a problem is when the woke community tries to shove their freaking ideals into the game and try to get everybody else to conform to what they think is right and wrong.
The anti-woke YouTube grifters. Can you please explain to me how these people are grifters? How are any of these people lying about their beliefs for some sort of monetary gain? Maybe these people have a lot of supports because their opinions on gaming, including character designs, represent the majority of people. I know Twitter can get confusing because posts will go viral, typically getting botted, saying the opposite of what we're talking about here. But no, the proof is here. That's why people like these mentioned here get a lot of supports. And down here, this is crazy because a lot of the posts calling out people and raising issues in the gaming scene and among YouTubers who talk about that stuff, they really typically want to be disingenuous with their points, right? They don't really have a point, so they're just being disingenuous, or they're fighting straw man arguments or something like that. But here, this is the next level. This is gaslighting. They are literally telling everyone, including those watching this video, that what you've experienced and what you have witnessed over the past 10 plus years in the gaming industry didn't actually happen the way you think it did. It was actually all the faults of people like Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, and Grums, and other anti-woke YouTube grifters. It's all their faults. Now, of course, that's ridiculous.
Considering how much damage wokeness has done to a lot of companies, brands, games, all that stuff, I'm surprised there are still people who want wokeness. I mean, the evidence is like standing directly in front of them, showing the amount of damage being woke is doing, and they're just willfully ignoring it because they think it's good. They think being woke is a good thing, that it'll better society, which when in reality it doesn't do anything good for society.
People who are criticizing what's going on in the industry were reacting to what the industry and anything associated with it was already doing. So this part about we could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, stuff that's actually about the game. Yeah, I hope so too. I would really like a return to that one day. That'd be pretty neat. But we have seen for over a decade, whether it's through like feminist frequency and Anita Sarkeesian or those sorts of people who started the whole Gamergate situation, this has been something in motion for a very long time.
And those people just nitpick at certain aspects of video games that don't fucking matter. God, I've seen what was it called? Feminist something? That channel, I've seen, I only knew about feminist whatever the fuck it's called because it doesn't fucking matter. I only knew about them because of Daz Black. Because apparently they did a thing about thing was called Dante's Inferno, which is a great game. I loved that game. I'm sad that it's not on PC. And they criticized a lot of the female gendered demons and monsters. And it's just like, are you seriously being this fucking stupid? It's those kind of channels and those kind of people who nitpick at fucking everything that make shit worse and just make people not fucking like you. Why are you... Just why?
We know how insufferable games journalists can be. We know how insufferable activists are on Twitter. And that's who, unfortunately, a lot of industry designers and devs, they're listening to those people. And that's the big mistake. But let's see some of the reaction to this. It's okay to hate atrocious character designs. Very true.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like the character design, you have the right to, express how you feel or how you think about them. If it's a horrible character design, then it's a horrible character design. If it's ugly, it's ugly. There's nothing wrong with expressing how you feel or expressing your opinion of how you feel about a design of something in a game or in a movie or TV show.
Translation. They showed up, criticized us, normal people agreed with them, and we lost our social traction. So they're grifters, because that's a word I've seen used negatively. I am very smart.
Okay, I've seen the word grifter used so many fucking times. Let's look up the actual definition of grifter. All right, grifter, the definition. A person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. I saw, here's a sentence that uses it correctly. I saw him as a grifter who preys upon people. Or here's another thing. A grifter is a con artist who swindles people out of money or possessions through deception, trickery, and fraud, often appearing charming or legitimate to gain trust before exploiting. They aren't thieves who take by force, but rather convince victims to hand over valuables willingly. Essentially, running scams, cons, or elaborate grifts for personal gain, with legal actions often falling under theft, fraud, or larceny. That is what a grifter is. Not somebody who, disagrees with your opinion or who is diametrically opposed to your beliefs or whatever else, that is not a grifter. That is just somebody who is disagreeing with you. See, there's a word for people like this, and I gotta remember. All right, I think this is the. In a way, they're. I don't know if there's an actual definition for people like this, but these people keep using these phrases like it's a catch-all thing. Like it's supposed to work for everything, for everyone, and that disagrees with them. They use these words they have no idea the actual definition to. If you're going to, call somebody something or accuse somebody of being something that you think they're being, then you better damn well make sure that what you're saying matches up with the definition of what the actual word is, what it means, and use it fucking correctly. Because you calling people a grifter is just because they disagree with you or they are the opposite of what you believe. You sound like a fucking idiot. So, actually look up the definition of words before you fucking speak. Otherwise, you sound like a fucking retard.
Correct. It's exactly how their brain works when they're making these posts. Oh no, people like beautiful things. People have always talked about looks of characters in movies, games, every art medium, but for some reason you're here coping and seething. That's the thing too. Like, if you want to have whatever character design that's not traditional or unappealing, whatever, you'll find something. But why are you so against it? Like, what is it about having appealing designs that just...
It's just a lot of. I'd say most of the criticism would probably come from feminists, at least current feminists. We can live over on my TikTok ended. Probably because of what I was saying. They didn't like what I was saying. What was I saying? Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I don't understand why I think a lot of the complaints would probably come from the current generation of feminists saying that it's the patriarchy or the male gaze or whatever the fuck else. It's like, you ladies do realize there are women out there who want beautiful, sexy, or hot women in these games as well, right? It's not just men. I mean, the vast majority of it, yes, is men. Because we appreciate and we love to look at the female form. Because to us, it is attractive. To us, it is beautiful. To us, it is hot. It is sexy. It is all these things. We like to appreciate the female form. I don't see what the problem is. We're not looking at them like there's some sort of fucking object. We still see them as people, but we see them as something that we are physically attracted to. We like it. You people have such a fucking warped mindset over this shit.
This makes people so angry. I don't know. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Who knows at this point? But here's another one saying, I disagree. Game companies themselves did the damage with the choices they made and the instance of calling all criticism, including valid ones, as being a form of bigotry or ism. Very true. Pains me someone will come to this post and still defend them or continue saying the same crap. Well, people like myself come here because you're making claims, this OP's making claims about people being grifters and that they're the ones who have completely ruined gaming discussion, but they offer no proof, and then they try to gaslight you and tell you what you saw and what you experienced with the gaming industry. Oh, it's actually the other way around. Like, it's so obvious that they're lying here and they're gaslighting. But in response to that, they say, oh, we got one already, referring to someone defending the people in the post. And it says, maybe those people shouldn't have talked about exactly the same effing thing for 16 years then. There wouldn't be an anti-woke side if the woke side didn't start this BS. Yeah, you're posting bangers. This person...
I mean, where's the lie in this? It is the woke people that started this bullshit. If they didn't stick their nose into shit where it didn't belong, none of these things about no anti-woke would ever fucking exist. Because they're trying to push they're trying to push their worldview, how they want the world to be, how they want people to be. They're pushing all this shit down everybody's fucking throat. They're trying to push it in their face. They're trying to change society and how they want it to be. And it's just, we want them to fucking go away. Stop trying to force people in to live a life that they don't want to live, to believe in shit that they don't believe and don't want to believe. And then you won't piss people off. But here you are doing just that.
Makes a good point. You're showing this like it's like a hall of shame for this person, but no, this is the only positive reception this OP has gotten on anything, because, well, they shared a good take, unlike theirs. But it goes on, and this whole thread, by the way, has 20,000 likes. 20,000 likes, around 1 million views, and I think there's maybe like 1% of the replies agreeing with them, and the rest, in terms of quotes, are almost...
Well, yeah, those 1% of people who are agreeing are the people who are fucking woke and dipshits who don't live in fucking reality and choose to keep living in their own fantasy world and being retarded.
all negative. Like, this is the most artificial stuff I've ever seen. But let's read a couple more. Some of the quotes here from Grums, who was called out in this post, saying, "You mess with games for a decade. You demand all games change to meet your political views. You fire devs that don't agree and..."
Oh, yeah, that's another thing. If you're going to make games, don't try and force your political worldview into the game. The moment you do that, you are basically putting holes in the ship that you're trying to set sail for the game. You're already trying to sink it. So just leave your political worldviews out of the game and just make a fucking game.
Blacklist them. You cancel and dox everyone who dares to disagree. You lead a campaign of fear and ruin lives. We push back. We're winning. Here's no one saying, yeah, this person really tried to blame YouTubers for this when these women were ground zero. I mean, literally, we had people like Zoe Quinn and Anita Sarkeesian speaking in front of the UN. Like, this is one of those times you could say, yeah, I think grifter is appropriate here. All they did was farm outrage and say whatever it took to get them the most power and money. That sounds a lot more like grifting than these YouTubers who were mentioned.
Yeah, that is grifting. They're actually trying to scam anyone and everyone.
But anyways, let's see here. Here's the thing, though. The anti-woke grifters aren't the ones making modern Western games. The types of people here below are the ones making them, and they prioritize politics and personal bias over the very things you say gamers should talk about. And it's funny. Thanks for jogging my memory here. Some people have noticed that a Sweet Baby Inc. employee, Chris Kindred, just said on Twitter that they helped make Reloaded. Another kiss of death from a Sweet Baby Inc. involved project. Amazing stuff. But, oh yeah, and I forgot. There's another reference to Charlie Kirk's assassination. The OP posted this literally like within 24 hours of it happening. Like, we know what they meant by this post. crazy stuff. You can create a game with perfect level design, soundtrack, story, environment, gameplay, mechanics, but at the end of the day, no one wants to play as an ugly character.
Yeah, I would say that that can be pretty true because you're playing as a character. You're looking at this character throughout the entirety of the game. So people who play these games want something that looks good to them. If you're throwing something ugly in their face throughout an entire game, they're not really going to like it no matter what you do with anything else. Nobody wants to play as something that's not visually appealing. I mean, hell, look at Lara Croft from the PS1 days. She was just polygons and she was still fucking hot. Look at Tifa. And all the other characters from the PS1 days. They were actually good looking and they were just fucking polygons. And now we have arguably the best technology we've ever had, and we can make characters look like they're from fucking real life. And you're making them ugly. The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, people might not like to hear that last part, but that's how it plays out. It's not that this always happens, but it happens a lot. And it's been happening for years, despite people saying, "Oh, that's not no, guys, wait for the Game Pass results. Steam DB doesn't reflect actual numbers or whatever, like the amount of excuses or, oh, guys, player count is a good metric for how many sales, not actual copies sold and things like that." But yeah, we've seen this sort of dynamic play out over and over again. But of course, the original poster is getting dunked on some more. This was at 15 likes last night. And then people are like, that was before you decided to purchase bots. It was like at 15 before I entered my payment info and purchase likes. I'll give this person a break. I have a theory. Hang in there, okay? Nothing these days seems like a tinfoil hat conspiracy. But I think there are people out there botting things that other people are posting that reflect their own interests or their agenda. I think that happens a lot too. The actual original post.
I could never fully understand why people want to bot so fucking badly. It's like, are you so self-centered? Are you so conceited? Do you want attention so fucking badly that you have to bot views and likes just to get your post seen by more people just so you can get more attention? Are you that attention starved? I mean, what the hell? It's nothing but a waste of time, waste of money, and it just paints you as more of a sad dumbass. I really don't know what else to say, but I'm sorry if you're botting. You have problems. You need help, my guy. Go fucking touch grass.
Isn't doing it, someone else is, and it leads to funny results. But they also added another reply saying, "I want to personally thank everyone who took time out of their calendar to comment all these wonderful things on the most random tweet ever. I know who to block now. Good day." Yes, well, that was a good conversation, very productive, and I have to thank you for the free content as per usual. Twitter's always coming in clutch with the latest takes, whining about YouTubers, gaming, and people just having common sense. That's kind of the denominator in all of this. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
The NFL.
Yeah. Woke. I don't think wokeness has done anything good for society whatsoever. I mean, since its inception, it has been nothing but a negative for society as a whole. I can't really think of one positive thing that has come from being woke. It's been bad for people. It's been bad for society. It's been bad for businesses. It's been bad for movies, games, TV shows. It's been bad for pretty much everything. And for some reason, there are people who still live in the fantasy world of it is a good thing. It's messed up. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I post videos 3 to 5 days a week here. I also post videos over on my other channel for gaming as well. So please make sure to give that a look-see. See if you enjoy that as well. I also stream anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week as well. Links to all my social medias will be on my YouTube page. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.